So we have to talk about, just preparing our children for the future. I think that that's always when we have kids that struggle and, especially that have more profound struggles. I think the question in the back of our head is, what about their future? And what am I going to do? So any wisdom for parents on, just how to push through that? And
well, I have to say that with mine at 26, it's not so much in the back of our heads anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that the number one thing is ensuring that their faith is nurtured. Not relying on them to read the scriptures on their own or decide if they're going to church or pray on their own. We kind of learned the hard way that it's important to still pray as a family, even though they're young adults. Now, of course, I'm talking about kids who are still living with you, where you're the guardian and you still have that kind of arrangement. But I would just say, I guess, as long as they are with you. So even if that's into the teen years, to not assume that after, say, confirmation in some traditions or after they hit those teen years, it's kind of the same principle as continuing to read aloud as a family, even after they have learned to read themselves.
Right.
We want to make sure that that's the main thing. Kind of no matter what happens to them, that's just the most important thing.
Yeah.
But nurturing them along in volunteering. That came from Dr. Temple Grandin, whom I just adore. And I read so much when my kids were little and early diagnosed with autism. There was not that much out there then, because this was almost 25 years ago. But Dr. Grandin is a big proponent of not coddling our children with autism, but instead getting them out there when they're 13, 14, getting them hooked up with a good mentor who will teach them how to become a young adult in the workplace.
Yeah.
She speaks often of her experience in a similar scenario and how important it was for her to even be told somewhat bluntly that hygiene matters on the job. And it's just different. Yep. It's different when it comes from somebody other than mom and dad now when they're 13 and 14. Probably one of the best things we did was when my son was 14, there was an opening for a homeschool class in history in our little historic town on the Mississippi River in Missouri. It seemed to me we were already doing so much. We had homeschool swim. We just had lots of things going on. It's so easy to get overloaded. And then here comes this history class. He loved history so much.
Oh,
I thought, do I want to take on one more thing? But I'm so glad that we did, because that for him then became his group, his people.
Yeah.
He found his people in this museum. The director had a background in special needs. She had also homeschooled. She loved his love of history. She found a place for him. He started initially just working in the office, kind of cleaning artifacts, but eventually he gave tours to people who came to our town. Being on the higher end of autism, he learned about the facts of our historic homes. He knows even today more than most of the natives in our town.
Wow.
About local history. So that was a really important thing for him. He was there for probably 5 years or so until that director left. It's really important to have somebody who understands our children, to take them under their wing. But then for my daughter, she's a very caring person, compassionate person. So was paired at a nursing home and was able to work there for quite a while.